What's up, guys? Derek here. Today we are looking at another professional services bid over on SAM.gov. You all seemed to like the last one that we did, so we'll keep it rolling. Today we are looking at gate attendant services. Very easy, very straightforward. Actually, the Army Corps needs a person to attend to the gate. Go figure. Okay, so this is going to be a very easy one. And again, today we are going to go ahead and be answering our questions that we have here. What is this job? Do I want to bid on it? And if so, how do I respond to it? So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here on SAM.gov. First thing I'm going to pull is, first what I'm doing is answering what is the job. So I'm going to start pulling information to help me answer this. So the first thing I'm going to grab here is the title, if I can get it. And this automatically gives us a little bit of insight. I mean, gate attendant is not a complicated thing to think about. Next, we want to look at the due date. So March 28th. It is the 18th at the time I'm recording this, just for the record here. Oops, here we go. All right, that's better. Next, we have our set aside. So this is total small business set aside. So you would be able to bid on this one as long as you're registered in SAM. Place of performance, we can even grab this. We don't always grab it, but it's going to be in Plymouth, Washington, so Washington State. What else? The NAICS code. This is a 721211 for an RV parks and campground. And this is a bit of a good place to have a teachable moment, guys, because I'm sure 99.5 or 99.9% of you are not going to have a 721211 RV parks and campground NAICS code in your SAM.gov profile. It's just not going to be there, right? But you would be interested in professional services work by providing this gate attendant services. So you kind of see how there's that gap and there's that mismatch there. This is why you can't only rely on NAICS codes. You do also have to do keyword searches. And then for a third supplementary search, I always just do a manual scroll within a limited set of searches just to see if there's something that I missed. So today's example, this gate attendant services example here on SAM, is a very good example of something that you could miss that maybe you could actually go out and win, because this is a very easy, very straightforward response that you're going to see here into just a minute. So carrying on now, we've got our set aside, we've got our NAICS code. Here's a bit of a description. This is a commercial procurement for gate attendant services. And this is going to be at the Plymouth/Paradise Park Campground located in Plymouth, Washington. Here's the NAICS code. Let's see, any questions? Go to Michael Saldana. You must be registered in SAM. And that's about it. We have 3 attachments that we can see here. We have a solicitation doc, we have a wage termination, and we have a PWS. So if you follow here on the channel, maybe even if you're in some of my programs, these 3 documents should not be new to you. Coming down here at the very bottom of the SAM.gov listing, we see Michael Saldana as the primary POC, and then we have Donald Summer as the secondary. And typically this is going to mean the primary is a contracting specialist, the secondary is the contracting officer. Not that that matters a whole lot right now. Let's stay on task. So we're still answering what is the job. So I don't want to look at the wage determination just yet. I know what to expect there. It's going to be minimum pay rates plus fringe. It's not going to really help me to answer this particular question. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just open the solicitation document, see what it has for me. This is 32 pages long. I'm immediately hit on page 1 with instruction to offers, and we pretty much know that that's going to tell us how we need to respond to. That's going to be more so helpful with question number 3 here for today. So I'm not going to get into that yet. Page 2, we see price and cleanse, and let's see what the description looks like. So gate attendant B services. It's going to start April 15th, so about a month from now. They're kind of just telling us about the period of the work, but they're not telling us too much about the work itself. Then we have evaluation, also going to be super helpful with answering these questions. So I kind of wanted to skip the obvious just to kind of show you And then the rest of this, I did already take a glance ahead. It's a lot of your representations and certifications, your reps and certs, which are not going to help us with this particular set of questions for today. And then your FAR clauses, okay? So we're a little bit close here. Let me zoom out just a little bit, and then our attachments. So really what you're interested in is a PWS, a performance of work statement or a scope of work. That is what tells you more about the details of what the job is. Maybe you already know that. I kind of wanted to trick you a little bit to see if you're paying attention by opening up that solicitation document first, because I did see that they attached it separately. So here it is, the PWS, the services themselves for the Plymouth Paradise Park Campground John Day Willow Creek Project, Oregon. Okay, but they told us what they told us, Washington State. Am I missing something here? Where did I see it? Or Plymouth, Washington. Yeah. They told us Plymouth. The campground is located in Plymouth, Washington. The top of the PWS, it's saying the John Day Willow Creek Project, Oregon. So I don't know if it's like a shared state border type thing. I know they're both right next to each other, but that's kind of interesting. Not something that I want to dwell on for today, though. But if you wanted to, what I would do is just go into Google Maps and pop this in and kind of see what this is looking like. But that kind of strikes me right off the bat. They're saying Plymouth is located about 30 miles south of Kennewick, Washington, Columbia River, near Plymouth, Washington. Okay, so point being, okay, you kind of want to dig into this a little bit to find out, where did we go here? Lost my page. What is the job? Okay, the location is going to be super important. Okay, so you're going to want to drill down on this. They're also saying there is one gate attendant position that shall be open for quote. This position requires 2 individuals working as a team. Okay, I did not suspect that, so I'm actually surprised that we found that here in the PWS, but good to know. This is a non-personal services contract, like we talked about. This is a firm fixed price for a base year plus 2 option years. So 3-year contract for 2 people. Pretty good. They're talking about fees at the park, okay, definitions, good stuff. Now here's a little bit about the job, okay? Say you're gonna be interviewing these 2 people, right? What are you gonna interview them for? What are the job? You need to know what the job is. So you need to provide a gate attendant with a campsite that includes these things: water, electricity, hookups. The campsite will be made available 5 days prior to beginning work. Maybe this is like a new park that's going up. Provide a secure vault for storage of funds. Provide gate attendant with vests and IDs. So you got to supply all this stuff. Supply forms, pamphlets, permits, and brochures for distribution to the campers. Okay, that's what your person is going to be doing, right? So I'm sure they're going to provide you with like the camp type stuff. Supply recreation, one-stop computer workstation, receipt printer, report printer, and till. Supply toner and papers for printers. Maintain grounds. Provide telephone services. Okay. It seems like they would be providing this to your people to then supply to the campers. It does not. I don't read this as like, okay, you're going to have to like come up with all of these computers and printers and brochures. At a glance, that's not how I'm reading that. I could be wrong. But this is why we spend time to drill down to what is the job. Perform all specific duties related to managing a public campground and implement the recreation one-stop reservation program. Okay, so that is recreation one-stop. Check site availability, post-reserve sites. Okay, I think you kind of get the point. You can read through this. I'm not going to go through this line by line. They're giving you the work schedule. So this is, in essence, what the job is going to be. Okay, it's 16 pages long. And they're doing a great job at defining the work, the scope of the work, dress code and appearance, key control. They got a summary here: customer service, gatehouse, camp reservation system, booking out RVs, federal fee collection, remitting fees, campground checks, posting reservations notices, and then campground checks, incident handling and reporting. These are all things that your staffed people would have to be doing. okay? And it's a bit of a summary there for you. And this is going to be more on the performance of you doing the job. So we can go ahead and stop with this part here because I don't want to get too in the weeds on this. I want to keep this high level. I want to keep this making sense, and I don't want to waste your time. I want to keep the pace up here. So this PWS, 16 pages, probably want to go through the whole thing. Okay, it's important stuff. But for what we're answering is, what is the job? I'm going to go ahead and just snag these couple paragraphs here. Actually, probably just this paragraph where it's talking about the two people being open for quote, providing non-personnel services, and then you know that you can come back, even if you want to, you can just say, I'm not even going to give a page number because it's a whole different document, so we can just say attached separately, so that we're not looking for it in the solicitation doc in the future. If we decide to bid on this, we'll remember, hey, it's a separate attachment. So that is what is the job, okay? We kind of got a pretty good idea of what's going on here. So question number 2, do I want to bid on this? So we know it's providing 2 people. It's for a base plus 2 years, so 3 years total. That sounds pretty good to me. This particular type of position does not seem like it would be difficult to recruit for. So these are sort of the questions that are coming to mind for me on do I want to bid on this. But more professionally, let's look at some criteria like when is the due date? Well, this is due 10 days from now. So can I bid in time? That's going to affect your answer. I think 10 days is good, okay? I don't think it would be hard for you to come up with pricing, maybe some resumes for people. Yes, 10 days to go after this. NAICS code. This is different. Remember, we looked at the NAICS code being something odd that you probably would not have for professional services. So it's okay. We don't have this, but we can add this to our SAM.gov profile. So keep in mind, guys, any solicitation you go after, when you click send on your proposal packet, if that NAICS code is not in your SAM.gov profile by the time they try to award, and if they're trying to award it to you, they will not be able to. So this SAM.gov has to be part of your capabilities in SAM. It has to be with your entity profile in SAM. So you just want to make sure you go ahead and add this NAICS code for 721 to 11. So that doesn't affect me, but it's something that could prevent me from getting awarded. So it doesn't stop me from wanting to bid on it. The job itself, it's good. It's for 2 people for 3 years. We like this, okay? We don't know yet about the response and the pricing. So I'm going to leave this here for now, and I'm going to go ahead and look at next, how do I respond? And then based on what we see here, I'm going to come back and answer this. And in some cases, you can almost switch these 2 questions around depending. But for now, I think they're still pretty logical steps. So let's go ahead and skip to how do I respond to it. Let's go and try to kind of find that information really quickly here. And we are in the PWS. I'm going to bounce over to our solicitation document instead. And coming back, remember we were met with the instruction to offers, pricing table, and the valuation, literally on the first 3 pages. And these sections are exactly what tell you what you need to respond with. So instruction to offers, include the following: name, address, cage code. Super easy, guys, so easy. This is looking, again, more like an RFQ, a request for quote. This is not looking like it's going to need a full technical proposal write-up. And I'm trying to take it a little easy on you guys to get started on some of these videos. And I don't want to give you the wrong idea that this is how all solicitations are not. They're not. This is probably the minority. The majority of them are going to be more involved with technical responses, past performance, things like that. But for now, for your learning and your understanding, we're going to be building off of this. So they're literally telling you right here, request for quote. So you can be affirmed that this is focused primarily on price on the quote. That's the difference between RFQ and RFP. But let's see what else we got here. Quotes are due. We know this. And then we have our pricing table. So that's it for instruction to offers. Answer these 3 questions. Then we have a pricing table, and like that's it. So we have to fill out this pricing table. So I'm gonna bounce back, fill out pricing table. Before that, I'm gonna go ahead and say answer 3 questions in instruction to offerers, i.e. cage code. Again, that's why you need to be in SAM before you even start touching this stuff, because you get questions like this right off the bat. Then we have this pricing table. They're telling you the number of days. Just to look at this really quickly, they want you to price per day. So the unit price would be per day, and then the amount would be the unit price times the quantity, so times the number of days. So say if it was, $100 per day, and again, this is to staff 2 people, they're just rolling it up. They're not breaking it up by person. We can see that here because they're making the variable days, not people. So they're providing the service, right, for 2 people for gate attendant services for 94 days. So if it was, I don't know, $250 a day, maybe more, maybe $300 to $400, I'm not sure. That would go here in your unit price, and then you multiply that by your quantity, and that gets your total amount. And then you can go ahead and do that for, let me see, I want to make sure I'm not messing this up. Okay, so it's base year for this first row, option year 1 for the second row, option year 2 for the third row, but then this fourth row, which kind of stopped me really quickly, it says option to extend services. So this says you can get another 6 months. So they want you to price out for another 6 months, just in case they're procuring out the next solicitation. They're doing that, and maybe there's a snafu. They don't want to have a lapse in service. So this is a safety net for them. And that's what the 6 months is. So it could really be 1, 2, 3.5 years instead of 3. So that's a really more in-depth look at the pricing table, but it looks very straightforward. You can do this. It seems to make a lot of sense. So then lastly, evaluation, how the winning bidder will be chosen. That's what evaluation means. Evaluation of quotes shall be evaluated by price only. So evaluation, if I can spell this morning, evaluation, price only. That also is going to essentially tell us by default that the lowest price is going to be the winning bidder, right? If it's price only, that's the only factor that contracting has to discern. That means they're going to be going with the lowest price on this. So that's going to affect your pricing strategy. So is there anything else? It looks like we're going back, after that we go into the clauses, we go into the reps and certs, and then we go into, again, more clauses and then attachments being referenced. So that's really about it. A 32-page solicitation doc. We just went through the meat of it. And so we kind of have pretty good answers to our questions for today. I said I would come back to, do I want to bid on it? We're going to say this is price only. I just need to price out 2 people for 3 years and an extra half year. And also answer 3 questions on the solicitation doc. Okay. That is not a hard response. That is something that you can probably figure all this out in a day, maybe 2 days. I don't even see them asking for resumes, nothing. They're just like, give us the price. They probably know that it's not going to be hard to find these people. That's why they're not saying there has to be X amount of experience and, 10 years experience providing previous gate attendant services. No, this is going to be a low pay rate, guys. It's going to be possible that you have to replace these people, backfill these positions several times. But you know what? If you're new to federal contracting, which most of you are, this is a great kind of onesie twosie is what I like to call them, for you to get your foot in the door. Those of you who are saying I don't have past performance, like, dang, man, like they're not asking for it. They're just asking for a price. I mean, I'm probably going to share this, in our small business incubator group, and anybody in our program there that's wanting additional support, they'll be able to get that. So I just kind of wanted to share this with everybody because this is a very, very straightforward RFQ for those of you who are wanting to, build up in the professional services space. You can kind of do that like one staffed position at a time. This happens to be 2 staffed positions. So this would be excellent. I think we can go ahead and end the video here. If you are interested, you can see it in the description of this video and down below in the overlay. If you're looking for support on this type of stuff, I help new federal contractors build out their bidding and proposal writing systems for SAM.gov solicitations. So feel free to check the link in the description if you want to learn more about that. Maybe book some time on my calendar to talk about if the program would be a good fit for you. Other than that, smash that like button. If you liked this video and these type of videos, I certainly want to do more of them. And until next time, guys, hope this was helpful, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.